I know you think you're lazy, but you're not. You just have options. Because when you find yourself in a situation where you don't have options, you would realize how hardworking you are. I've heard many people say things like, I'm not really just entrepreneurial. I don't have that entrepreneurship spirit in me,
Welcome to David's Progress.
This is David's Progress. My name is David Rotimi. I started this journey of David's Progress over 3 years ago. I just wanted to journal my journey, and it has evolved into what it is now. What I want to do is keep you on that journey, but do my best to ensure that you yourself are propelled in the direction of fulfilling your own goals and desires, basically living the dream of the life that you imagined. I'm going to start by giving you a backdrop of where I've been from the last conversations that we had. Between then and now, a lot of things have happened. Had another baby, so now I have 2 kids, praise God. And I built Gerd, we've closed down, built Flavor, built Banisoro, design agency. And then I've gone on to do many other things in between. I released a few songs, relocated to Ilorin to be the resident pastor there. And then now I currently live in Oxford with my wife. My wife is doing her master's at the University of Oxford, which is amazing, by the way. So thank God for that. And just at the beginning of this year, I transitioned into product design. So that's the biggest move I've made in my career. And I'll give you more details about why that happened. But today I want to focus on what we're talking about. I know you think you're lazy, but you're not. You just have options. Because when you find yourself in a situation where you don't have options, you would realize how hardworking you are. I've heard many people say things like, I'm not really just entrepreneurial. I don't have that entrepreneurship spirit in me, And then I've seen those same people find themselves in situations where they just had to make money. And from nowhere, that spirit of entrepreneurship came out. I'm trying to help you understand that it's not a spirit. It's something that you can do. But maybe you just haven't found yourself backed into a corner yet. Let me tell you how my journey started, because I didn't grow up thinking, oh my God, I was going to be this wonderful entrepreneur building businesses and doing all of those things. My journey started with Milo. Yes. I'll tell you how that makes sense. So in my house, I didn't grow up from a very, very wealthy family. Everybody defines wealthy and broke differently. So let's just say we weren't rich, but I had everything I needed. Now, when I say needed, I'm talking about bare essentials. In fact, the reason why Milo came in is whenever we eat bread and tea, for example, my mom used to hide the Milo tin because somehow we just find our way to lick it. You know how sweet it is. And I just always wanted to lick it. I don't know why I had this obsessive desire to lick Milo. Something interesting happened. We visited a family friend. I got to their house and then I saw Milo, I saw milk, I saw sugar, I saw apples, I saw different cereals. We didn't even used to eat cereals in my house then. And I was just like, what? They have children in this house. How come all these things are on the table and nobody's hiding them? Because we usually hide them in my house. My mom hides them in my house. I was flabbergasted. And then it dawned on me that it was possible to actually have it in abundance. I'll be honest with you. I think that was my entrance into abundance mindsets. It did something to me. It opened up my mind. I said, what? So people have this thing in their house in abundance, like they can go on their table, open it, lick it, close it back, and nobody's going to say, you've had enough, return it. It was mind-blowing for me. And then I got home and I said, you know what? I'm going to do everything I can to be able to buy my own Milo by myself. And nobody can say it's enough. I'll lick and lick and lick and lick until I'm tired. And now, finding myself in that situation, where am I going to get money from? I was probably like 10. No, I wasn't even 10. That was 8. I remember when I was 10. No, I was like 8. I couldn't steal. I couldn't cheat. I couldn't lie. I just knew the only way to get it was to make money. So by the time I got into secondary school, that was 100 level. Interestingly, my parents used to give us pocket money because that's how financially, that's where we were on the financial scale. But the secondary school I went to had everything we needed, basically. So there was food, we didn't need provisions. Although provisions weren't allowed at the beginning, but people snuck provisions in. But I didn't even have the option of sneaking it in. Even if it was allowed, I don't think they would have given me. Now I got to secondary school and found out that people came with pocket money. I I was flabbergasted. What? Your parents gave you money to go to school? And they were like, yeah, like pocket money. I couldn't believe it. Because my parents didn't give me pocket money because they gave me everything I needed. So I didn't need pocket money for anything. And that was my second phase of realization. I'm like, you know what? Wherever they keep this money, I'm going to do everything I can to find it. And so by the time I was in GS2, I sold my first greeting card. Now, interesting story about that. We did this fine art class, and then my card was very nice for some reason. Before then, I used to draw, so I didn't even know I had the talent. But when I got to secondary school, I found out people couldn't draw like me, and then it dawned on me that, oh wow, I could draw. And so one of my friends, I remember her name very vividly, Onome, she upset another of her friend. You know, they were the big girls in school then. Shout out to Onome. And she wanted to apologize to her. So in the fine art class, we had done some practicals, which was to make a greeting card. And obviously mine was very nice, so everybody knew I could make very nice greeting cards. And so Onome reaches out to me, David, I want to make an I'm sorry card for my friend. And then she goes on to say how much. It was at that point I knew that I was going to make it. Because I did not even realize that that's how business could happen. So immediately she said how much. I don't know how and where. I just said 50 naira. Now, this was 2004. I don't know, figure out what 50 naira was worth in 2004. And she was like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. Oh my God, that was the turning point of my life. I said, so people can give me money for something I can give them. That was when I first understood the point of exchanging value. And so I did the card. It was nice. She was happy. I got my 15 naira. And trust me, there was no turning back. Now, that business grew. I ended up doing it in university. It's what evolved into Flavor, the website. And I'm telling you that story because you are actually not lazy. You just have not been pushed to a corner yet. Somebody else will have done that card for free because they weren't thinking about making money, because they probably didn't need it. Now, maybe you find yourself and you're actually fortunate. You're not like me. You weren't in a situation where you really, really needed money and you wanted to have your own money. Maybe you have all your money and now you really just want to make something out of your life, but you don't feel like you have the drive. I'll tell you what I think you should do. You need to find a reason that can bring you out of bed. If you haven't been pushed to the corner yet, you push yourself to a corner. One of the biggest secrets to executing your ideas is desire. And the problem with desire is that nobody can find the desire for you. You have to build a desire by yourself. Either you're pushed into a corner or you build that desire yourself. So if you haven't been pushed to a corner yet, you now have the responsibility to say, I want to desire this enough. Now, how you can do that is by consistently fueling your mind with things that increase that desire in your heart. And it works very easily in the negative, especially if you're single. The more you see people who are married and are all lovey-dovey, the more you desire it. So if you want to grow a business, if you want to start a business, if you want to start a podcast, if you want to start a fashion brand, if you want to start a school, if you want to start anything, and you haven't found a fueling desire in your heart, you can fuel that desire by seeing other people do it. If you haven't been pushed to a corner, this is the best alternative I can give you. And I'm telling you this because if you don't have a desire, there's no amount of Aspire to Maguire that's going to make you make a move. There will be literally nothing that can wake you up in the middle of the night to say, I want to push, because there is no desire. That's where it starts from. For me, the desire was I wanted to be able to buy my own Milo. I just wanted to have my money. And because I had that desire, it was top of mind for me. Now, because it was top of mind for me, when an opportunity came, I was able to grab it. So for some of you, because you don't even have that desire, many opportunities have come that you didn't grab because they didn't look like opportunities, because it was never on top of your mind. So fueling that desire is one of the first things you can do if you are actually going to build anything, if you're actually going to execute any of your visions or desires or dreams that you have for yourself. So you're not lazy. You just don't have a compelling desire to see your life change yet. And if you don't have that, nothing anyone says can make a difference in your life, because desire is something you have to build by yourself. That's it for today. I'm going to see you on the next episode. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment, and see you on the next video.